Nearly 13 years in prison, then over 20 years as an attorney. Needless to say, I learned a few things. Let's talk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, NTB here. So I have a crazy story coming out of California for you here today. Former male correction officer allegedly has been abusing multiple women over multiple years at a women's correctional facility, and he has been arrested and charged. Presently, he's accused of 12, but there may be many more. Sad story, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, let's take a look at what's going on here.
But we begin here with the former prison guard with the Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla, facing nearly 100 charges for the rape of more than a dozen female inmates. The allegations dating back to 2014, and there could be even more victims. Our Esteban Reynoso live in Madera County tonight with more on these shocking allegations. Esteban.
Alex, the suspect faces a total of 96 charges. The Madera County DA telling me today that this is the most rape charges in one single case that she's seen since 2011. 13 victims so far have been identified, but the DA fears there could be more.
Gregory Rodriguez, a 54-year-old former correctional officer from the Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla, is now in handcuffs. These photos show his arrest by investigators before being booked Wednesday morning and charged on 96 total criminal counts.
Alleging 39 individual sexual assaults, some of those charged more than one way.
Some of these counts include rape, threatening with the use of authority, and multiple counts of sexual battery. All of it allegedly taking place behind the barbed wires and walls of this state prison.
And if convicted, he could face up to 300 years in prison. Some of these allegations date as far back as 2014, but most occurred within the last 2 years.
Sally Moreno is the district attorney for Madera County. She's been overseeing Rodriguez's case since the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation referred the DA to take it over in December.
If new allegations come forward, we'll have to investigate those as they go.
According to public records, Rodriguez started his career with CDCR in 1995. He was in Chowchilla since 2010. In August of 2022, he retired shortly after being approached by internal affairs investigators. So far, at least 13 victims have been identified, down from initially 22 suspected.
And then we do have resources available at the institution as far as mental health.
A lot of those inmates come in already with trauma, and so those resources are already set up and in place for them.
Now Rodriguez's bail is set at $7.8 million, and he is set to appear in the Madera County Superior Court right behind me on Friday. Live in Madera, Esteban Reynoso, KC24 Local News and Matters.
Wow, so y'all heard that, ladies and gentlemen. But here's the thing. This guy is in big trouble, no doubt about it. But what about these women? There's no way this guy has been operating in that prison for all these years and no one had heard a word. That's impossible. People had to have heard a word. Someone have seen something, heard something, suspected something. This man has been operating with impunity for all these years and getting away with it. That's weird to me. I'm not buying it. Somebody just didn't do something. That's what's going on with this case. And for those who don't know about these prisons, a lot of times the guards have a lot of power over the inmates. They can control your goings, your comings, who you see, who you don't see. Can you use the phone? Can you not use the phone? Get a visit or not get a visit? They can put false charges on you so easily. They can set you up and put things in your cell. Why they call it shaking your cell down. It's when they're searching your cell. They can fabricate. They have almost complete power over every aspect of your life. And so some of the people coming through, particularly the women, the men too, but the women, a lot of them already come from abusive relationships. If you look at the statistics, a lot of them have been abused, history of abuse. Sometimes the abuse goes back to when they're children. That's one of the untold dirty little secrets of the women's prison. A lot of the women have a history of being abused, and that's how they oftentimes drift off into crime, drugs, alcoholism, and end up in prison. So many of them come to prison, they vulnerable. And these correctional officers, some of them been there for years. They know how to manipulate, they know how to use them. And obviously this guy took it way, way further and started to abuse them. I hope they throw the book at them and some. Yeah, this is a sad, sad tale. I'm going to follow up, try to get any more information on this case that I can, and I'm going to bring it to you. But right now, again, you know me, something stinks. This doesn't smell right. This man's been operating in this jail doing this for all these years and nobody knew nothing, saw something. I'm not buying it anyway. We'll get to the bottom of this and hope they throw the book at him plus some. NTB, man. Follow for more.